Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
The staff here at Lehto's Law had a big debate about whether we should do this story or not. And by staff, I mean me. By debate, I mean I thought about it a little bit. And the reason is this. I've done a bunch of stories about people who filed lawsuits claiming that they were misled by the labeling on food. So they bought something that was labeled vanilla such and such, but it didn't contain actual vanilla. It was vanilla flavored. Or the strawberry Pop-Tart case. Bought strawberry Pop-Tarts expecting there to be actual real strawberries, and it turns out it's strawberry flavoring. That kind of thing. But I've gotten so many people sending me this story that I assume people are interested in it. But again, these stories don't always do as well as other stories on this channel. I just wish somebody could wrap one of these stories up with a civil asset forfeiture angle with an HOA. And perhaps some police misconduct. Somebody do that out there, please. Thank you. This story is from CNN and People. I had to get facts from two different places. Hershey is sued for selling Reese's peanut butter cups without cute pumpkin faces. And that's a quote, cute pumpkin faces. You might say, Steve, why would they be required to sell them with cute pumpkin faces? Well, the packaging appears to show them with cute pumpkin faces, but if you bought them and opened up the packaging, they don't have the cute pumpkin faces. So Nathaniel Meyerson wrote this major piece of the story here for CNN. The woman thought she was buying Halloween-themed Reese's peanut butter pumpkins with a cute carving of a pumpkin's mouth and eyes because that's what's pictured on the packaging for the product. But when she opened it, she was horrified to find that there was no pumpkin carving at all. It was just a regular-looking piece of chocolate. So the wrapping was holiday-themed, but the contents were just your plain old, regular, non-holiday candies. Now she's filed a lawsuit against Hershey, which is the maker of Reese's, alleging the company falsely represented several of its holiday-themed products on packaging, such as Reese's peanut butter pumpkins, white pumpkins, Pieces pumpkins, peanut butter ghost, and white ghost. And I'm betting that the peanut butter ghost contains no actual ghost. The woman would not have purchased a Reese's if she knew that it did not have the detailed carvings of the mouth and her eyes as pictured in the product label. And notice detailed carvings. She doesn't want just lame carvings. They need to be detailed, according to the lawsuit, which was filed in federal court in Florida. It seeks class action status on behalf of numerous consumers who have been tricked and misled by the pictures on the product's packaging. The question is, wouldn't you really only be representing the people who bought it or were dissatisfied? Because I bet a lot of people bought it, didn't care, or didn't notice. Hershey was asked for comment but didn't give one to CNN at the time. They joined a growing list of food brands sued for false advertising, including Taco Bell, Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, and Arby's. These companies use ads that don't match up with their actual food, according to the suits. So somebody has actually gone into Burger King, for instance, and found one of the cardboard illustrations with a photograph on it of what the food should look like. And when you order the sandwich, which is what we call it in the business, you order the sandwich and you take it out of the wrapper and hold it next to the photograph that was shot in a studio by a professional photographer under lights. Turns out they're not a perfect match. And yes, that's the basis of one of the lawsuits. Probably several of them, actually. For a judge or jury to decide with the plaintiffs in false advertising claims, lawyers have to successfully make the case that the ads would trick a reasonable consumer. And also, I believe they have to show some kind of harm. Now, harm doesn't have to be physical harm, like, oh, it took my arm off or something. But if you didn't get what you bargained for, yeah, that's a form of harm. The real question is, do people really expect there to be cute pumpkin faces on these candies? And if there aren't, how harmed were they? So she filed the class action lawsuit in Florida's Middle District Court against the candy company for $5 million. And here's the thing. I've mentioned this before, but this is something I want everyone to understand. And if nothing else, take this from the video. When you file a lawsuit, and trust me, I've filed a lifetime's worth. When you file a lawsuit, you must plead and say how much it is that you're looking for, the amount in controversy. But pleading rules only require that you plead that an amount, generally speaking, is above or below a certain amount, because that's what decides what kind of court you go into. So in federal court, for instance, if you're suing somebody who's in another state and you simply are suing them because they're in a different state than you are, you have to plead that your damages exceed $75,000. $75,000. So when somebody says our damages are $5 million, they're doing it for headlines. They're doing that for headlines. I've seen it before where somebody's filed a lawsuit and they ask for $100 million in this count and $100 million in this count and they're never going to get anything near that on any of the counts. But they're doing it for headlines because reporters will go, oh my gosh, a $5 million lawsuit against Reese's. $5 million lawsuit. No, it's just a lawsuit. It's a lawsuit just like the vanilla one and the strawberry one and the Burger King one. It's just another one of those lawsuits. Now, it might be a great lawsuit, but will the lawsuit result in $5 million in damages? I highly doubt it. But again, all they had to do was say in excess of $75,000. I've often thought that what I should do is draft a complaint and say, I want $1 cajillion. And then I looked it up. Turns out cajillion is not a real number. There's other words that don't sound like it, but it turns out cajillion is not a real number. So I'd have to say I want $1 cajillion, or in the alternative, $100 trillion. Because I think trillion's real world, isn't it? Not trillium, that's a flower. Trillion with an N, trillion. But I was going to ask for $1 cajillion, but you know. So if you want headlines, I mean, go big, okay? According to the complaint shared by WFLA, the woman says she and other consumers purchased the products based on false and deceptive advertising. She alleged that several products were meant to have explicit, carved-out artistic designs, and she found no such carvings in the actual products. The complaint then laid out how she found the product at an Aldi in Hillsborough County, Florida. She purchased the Reese's Peanut Butter Pumpkins, which according to the complaint, she thought contained a cute-looking carving for $4.49. But when she opened it, she says that no such design was on the chocolate. No such design. And so her harm, presumably, would have been $4.49. But if she ate them, she got some value, right? So it would be less than $4.49. But of course, if there are other people similarly situated who were actually harmed, then I guess you have a class action on your hands. So I'm not actually making fun of the concept here. The class actions can be good things. I've actually filed a few in my career. However, the argument that you have a $5 million lawsuit over cute pumpkin faces, that's all being done for headlines. That's all it's being done here. So I've always wanted to file the lawsuit asking for a couple $100 trillion. But you always run the risk of a judge looking at you in court and going, why'd you do that? So everyone knows you did it for headlines. So there you go. But like I said, a lot of people sent this to me. And I'm not sure these food videos don't do as well as some of my other videos. But so many people sent it that I figured I had to do it. So there you go. Nathaniel Myerson wrote that for CNN. People Magazine also contributed a couple paragraphs. And everyone sent this to me. Hershey sued for selling Reese's peanut butter cups without cute pumpkin faces. Plaintiffs' allegations in their lawsuit, they want $5 million in the class action. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and looks like work.